This is highly defensive, and this one is going to be good. You've broken down Michael Jordan and LeBron James. That really wasn't much of a fight. Then I did Kobe Bryant and D. Wade, and when crunching the numbers was a little closer than I thought. Today we match up two juggernauts on defense, at least for a portion of their career, and this one I was excited to do research, crunch numbers, and really analyze who was truly the best defender. So with that said, comparing Michael Jordan and Kawhi Leonard on defense is a matchup of legends from different eras, each with their own style, strengths, and approach to the game. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as one of the best defenders of all time, combined athleticism, skill, and relentless intensity to shut down opponents. Kawhi Leonard, known as the Klaw, has established himself as a dominant perimeter defender with physical attributes and defensive instincts that make him a true lockdown presence on the court. To decide who was the better defender between these two all-time greats, we'll explore key areas: defensive accolades, on-ball and off-ball defense, defensive versatility, impact on team defense, clutch defensive performances, and their influence on the game. But first, if you enjoy NBA breakdowns and analysis, please subscribe to the channel. We are working for that 2,000 sub mark and can't do it without you guys. Also, check out the GOATcast podcast, streaming live every week with guests and some wild takes. Thank you, and now let's get into this. Both Jordan and Leonard have impressive defensive accolades, which reflect their impact over the course of their careers. Michael Jordan earned 9 NBA All-Defensive First-Team selections throughout his career and won Defensive Player of the Year in 1988. His Defensive Player of the Year award is particularly notable because it's rare for a guard to receive the honor, underscoring his dominance as a perimeter defender. Jordan's 9 All-Defensive Team selections tie him with other elite defenders in NBA history, indicating his consistent excellence on that end of the court. Kawhi Leonard has earned 7 NBA All-Defensive Team selections with 5 first-team and 2 second-team honors. Leonard also won 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, 2015 and 2016, making him one of the few perimeter players to win the award multiple times. His back-to-back DPOY awards reflect his peak dominance on defense, especially during his years with the San Antonio Spurs. While Leonard has fewer All-Defensive Team selections than Jordan, his 2 DPOY awards reflect an exceptionally high peak as a defender. However, Jordan's combination of 9 All-Defensive First Teams and a DPOY award points to a longer period of consistent defensive greatness. Consistency and longevity are critical to evaluating a player's defensive career, as they show how well a player sustained their defensive intensity and impact. Michael Jordan was a consistently dominant defender throughout his career, especially in his prime years with the Chicago Bulls. His defensive tenacity and focus remained strong even as he took on a heavy offensive load. Jordan's defensive prowess declined somewhat after he returned from his first retirement, as his offensive role and age affected his quickness. However, even as he aged, Jordan maintained a high defensive standard, particularly in crucial moments, such as the 1998 NBA Finals. Kawhi Leonard was one of the league's most feared defenders during his prime years with the Spurs and year with the Toronto Raptors. His defensive impact, particularly in one-on-one matchups and against elite scorers, has been widely recognized. However, Leonard's ability to sustain this intensity over an extended period has been hindered by injuries, which have limited his availability. While he remains a strong defender when healthy, his consistency on the court has been affected in recent years. In terms of consistency and longevity, Jordan has the edge. His defensive dominance over an extended period, combined with his ability to balance defense with a heavy offensive load, sets him apart from Leonard, whose career has been affected by injury-related limitations. On-ball defense, where a player is guarding the opponent directly, was a strength for both Jordan and Leonard. However, they approached it differently due to their physical attributes and defensive styles. Michael Jordan had the unique combination of quickness, strength, and anticipation. At 6'6", with a 6'11" wingspan, Jordan had the physical tools to match up against most guards and wings. His footwork was precise, allowing him to stay in front of opponents and force them into tough shots. Jordan's quick hands enabled him to generate steals and deflections regularly, often leading to transition opportunities for the Bulls. He did gamble a lot, though. His relentless on-ball defense was one of the reasons he could limit the production of some of the league's best scorers. Kawhi Leonard is considered one of the best on-ball defenders in NBA history. At 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan, Leonard's physical attributes give him an extraordinary reach, which he uses to disrupt opponents' dribbling and passing. Leonard's defensive style is more methodical and patient compared to Jordan's. He rarely gambles for steals, preferring to lock down his man and force contested shots. Leonard's ability to pressure ball handlers without fouling and his strong core and hand strength make him nearly impossible to shake. In terms of on-ball defense, both players are elite, but Leonard's physical size, disciplined approach, and use of his wingspan give him a slight edge. Jordan was also exceptional, but Leonard's on-ball prowess and control make him one of the most feared defenders in one-on-one situations. Off-ball defense, or the ability to impact the game away from the ball, is another critical area where both Jordan and Leonard made a difference. Michael Jordan was an excellent off-ball defender. His basketball IQ, anticipation, and quickness allowed him to play the passing lanes effectively. Jordan averaged 2.3 steals per game over his career, highlighting his ability to read offenses and create turnovers. His off-ball positioning also allowed him to provide help defense and cover his teammates, especially in the critical moments. Jordan's off-ball impact was significant, as his steals often led to momentum-shifting plays and transition scoring opportunities. Kawhi Leonard is also an exceptional off-ball defender. His wingspan, timing, and instincts allow him to disrupt passing lanes and provide help defense when needed. Leonard's approach to off-ball defense is marked by his patience. He rarely gambles, instead staying in position to contest shots or grab defensive rebounds. Leonard's off-ball positioning is strategic, and his defensive awareness enables him to close out on shooters quickly or recover to his man when switching. While Jordan was more aggressive in seeking steals and deflections, Leonard's controlled, patient approach makes him effective without overcommitting. Both players excelled off the ball, but Jordan's more proactive style allowed him to create more turnovers, which in turn fueled his team's offense. Jordan's high steal rate and ability to make impactful plays give him the edge in off-ball defense. Defensive versatility, or the ability to guard multiple positions, has become increasingly important in the modern NBA. Both Jordan and Leonard are versatile defenders, although Leonard's versatility in guarding bigger players is more prominent. Michael Jordan primarily guarded shooting guards and small forwards, but he occasionally matched up against point guards, especially when the Bulls needed a defensive stop. His quickness and agility allowed him to switch onto guards and wings, but his role in the Bulls system didn't often require him to guard power forwards or centers. Jordan's versatility was evident in his ability to shut down scorers from different positions, but his assignments were typically focused on the perimeter. Kawhi Leonard has guarded all 5 positions during his career, particularly in today's switch-heavy NBA defenses. His combination of size, strength, and wingspan enables him to match up with power forwards and even some centers. Leonard's versatility was especially valuable during his time with the Raptors, where he frequently switched onto the opponent's most dangerous offensive player, regardless of their position. His defensive versatility allows him to adapt to different schemes and matchups, which is particularly useful in the playoffs. Leonard's ability to guard a wider range of positions gives him an advantage in terms of versatility. While Jordan was an elite perimeter defender, Leonard's size and adaptability allow him to be effective in more defensive scenarios. 1987-88 is Jordan's best defensive season, where he won Defensive Player of the Year, averaging 3.2 steals per game, a career high, 1.6 blocks per game, and 5.5 defensive rebounds per game. Jordan's 1988 season is notable for his unmatched defensive activity on the perimeter and shot blocking for a guard. He led the league in steals, showcasing his aggressive on-ball and off-ball defense. His defensive win shares for the season was an impressive 6.2, demonstrating his impact. The 1992-93 season was one of Jordan's best years defensively during the Bulls' first three-peat. He averaged 2.8 steals per game, 0.8 blocks per game, and 6.7 defensive win shares. Jordan's ability to read passing lanes and generate turnovers helped the Bulls become one of the league's top defenses. His athleticism and quick hands created scoring opportunities in transition, an area where the Bulls excelled. His 1995-96 season was a critical year for Jordan's post-retirement. He averaged 2.2 steals per game, 0.5 blocks per game, and a defensive rating of 101. Jordan's impact was felt beyond statistics. He was pivotal in the Bulls' record-breaking 72-win season, leveraging his experience to lead the team defensively and contributing to their defensive dominance. Kawhi Leonard's 2014-2015 season was Leonard's first Defensive Player of the Year season. He averaged 2.3 steals per game, 0.8 blocks per game, and a 96 defensive rating. Leonard's defensive presence propelled the Spurs to an elite defense. He led the NBA in steals and demonstrated his capacity for guarding multiple positions. His defensive rating of 96 and defensive win shares of 4.7 reflect his efficiency and impact. The 2015-2016 season, where he won his second Defensive Player of the Year, he averaged 1.8 steals per game, 0.7 blocks per game, and 5.5 defensive win shares. Leonard continued his defensive dominance by anchoring the Spurs to the NBA's best defense. His versatility allowed him to guard star players, particularly in isolation. Leonard's impact extended beyond individual stats as he contributed significantly to the Spurs' league-leading defensive rating. The 2018-2019 season was a key defensive year during the Toronto Raptors championship run. He averaged 1.8 steals per game, 0.4 blocks per game, and 3.7 defensive win shares. Leonard's defense was instrumental to Toronto's success, especially in the playoffs. He had several critical defensive plays, including his iconic steals and lockdown defense against star opponents, like Giannis Antetokounmpo. His defensive discipline and ability to contest shots without fouling were pivotal in the Raptors' finals win. Both players have had iconic defensive moments in clutch situations, which define their legacies. Michael Jordan is known for his game-changing defensive plays in critical moments. His steal against Karl Malone in Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals stands out as one of the most iconic defensive plays in NBA history. With less than 20 seconds remaining, Jordan stripped the ball from Malone, setting up his famous game-winning shot. Jordan's clutch defensive performances throughout his career helped the Bulls secure crucial wins, as he often took on the challenge of guarding the opposing team's best player in the final moments of games. Kawhi Leonard has delivered clutch defensive performances as well, most notably during his time with San Antonio and Toronto. In the 2014 NBA Finals, Leonard's defense on LeBron James was instrumental in the Spurs' victory. In 2019, Leonard's defensive performance throughout the playoffs, especially against the Milwaukee Bucks and Golden State Warriors, was a significant factor in the Raptors' championship run. Leonard's ability to make defensive stops in key moments has solidified his reputation as a clutch defender. Both players are known for stepping up defensively when it matters most, but Jordan's ability to consistently deliver in high-stakes final situations, combined with his iconic moments like the Malone steal, give him the edge in clutch defensive performances. Both Jordan and Leonard played critical roles in their team's defensive schemes and were often tasked with guarding the opponent's best scorer. Michael Jordan was the leader of the Chicago Bulls defense, setting the tone with his intensity and accountability. His competitive drive inspired his teammates to commit to defense, and his ability to create turnovers and push the pace elevated the Bulls' transition game. Jordan's presence allowed the Bulls to develop into one of the league's most formidable defensive units, especially during their championship runs in the 90s. Kawhi Leonard has also been a defensive anchor for his teams, particularly with the San Antonio Spurs and, of course, Toronto Raptors. Leonard's presence on the court forces opponents to adjust their offensive strategies, as his ability to shut down primary scorers is well known. Leonard's impact on team defense is profound, as he often takes on the toughest assignments and elevates the defensive standard for his teammates. His influence on the Raptors' championship defense in 2019 exemplifies his impact. While both players were invaluable to their team's defensive success, Jordan's leadership and influence on team defense give him the edge in terms of overall impact. Both Jordan and Leonard are among the best perimeter defenders in NBA history, though each brings unique strengths. Here's my summary of their comparative strengths. Michael Jordan holds the edge in terms of steals, shot blocking for a guard, longevity, and consistent defensive dominance across his career. His aggressive style and defensive leadership were central to the Bulls' success, and his ability to create turnovers and play crucial moments in high-stakes games was unmatched. Kawhi Leonard excels in defensive versatility, rebounding, and positional adaptability, particularly in modern NBA contexts. His controlled approach and ability to guard multiple positions make him one of the most effective defenders of his era. Leonard's peak defensive seasons, reflected in his 2 DPOY awards, demonstrate his capacity for game-changing defensive impact. So since I don't have a true criteria for how I break down who was the best, I'm going to cop out this time and give them both an award, or better yet, a stamp of approval. Michael Jordan has a slight edge overall due to his long-term impact, defensive accolades, and ability to elevate his team's defense consistently throughout his career. But after peak, Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion, was the better defender due to his versatility and offensive dominance, being close to the perfect defender in today's modern era. But what do you think? Is Michael Jordan or Kawhi Leonard the better defender? I think they both have great cases and both excelled at certain aspects of defense where the other wasn't as strong, and both are absolutely Hall of Fame level defenders. But let me know in the comment section what you think. So if you made it this far, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 2,000, trying to get there before the end of the year. Also, if you really want to help the channel, please become a member, a GC Hooper, and hit that membership link. Anything you guys give goes back to the channel, so it just helps us to be able to create even better content. So once again, thank you guys, and be back soon with more content.